Big readers, please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. So basically today we're gonna be reviewing how Alex G explaining the journey of taking $100 into 1 million. Without any waste of time, let's just jump into it.
No, I am not going to stop trading. A couple of days ago, I posted on my Instagram that I was thinking about stopping trading because I have pretty much achieved everything that I wanted from it. It became very boring, very systematical, and I just thought I was done with it and I wanted to focus on something else, different type of markets. But then I realized that I can't stop trading because there's just one thing I haven't achieved. And this one thing has been haunting me ever since I haven't completed it for the last 8-9 months, literally thinking about it every single day, how I let myself down and you guys. And that is the 100 to the Mill challenge. In August 6th of 2023, I started my first attempt to turning $100 into $1 million. Little did I know what challenges this had ahead of me, and this was the challenge, the series, the daily battles that literally turned me into the trader that I am today. I learned so much over the course of these 3 to 4 months where I successfully, flipped $100 all the way to $360,000. But it got to the point where I started hating trading. I didn't love the journey. I didn't feel the same about it because I was almost just forcing it. It got to the point where I just wanted to get the challenge out of the way. And I was getting tired of trading London session, New York session every single day because I had a very hard schedule and I had so much stuff going on at the time. I had just moved into a new house. There were so many things attacking at the same time that I wasn't really doing the challenge for myself. I was just doing it because I decided to start something that nobody has ever done. And as I started it, I didn't realize the battles that I was going to face, and I didn't realize how much pressure I was going to be under. And I'm not the kind of person to ever quit on anything, and I wasn't just going to stop halfway through it. And I've actually never opened up and said this before, but I wanted to stop the challenge as soon as I got to 100K. The fact that I turned $100 to $100,000 was absolutely insane to me. But I saw the love and the feedback that you guys gave to me, and I said, you know what, I can't stop here. I had to keep going. And that's where more stress came in, and it just started turning more into a hate relationship versus love relationship that I would have with the markets. And all of these battles and all of these things that I faced is something that now I am ready for it because I have already experienced it. I learned from it. And now when I'm going to begin this new 100 to the Mill challenge, I know exactly what I'm going to be facing. And for those of you guys that have no idea what I'm talking about a year ago, I tried to take $100 to $1 million, and I documented every single trade before I took it, as soon as I took it, and after I took it. I shared every single trade on my Instagram, Telegram, live streams. I was literally showing you guys how all you need is the proper skill set in order to succeed in trading. You don't need a large amount of capital in order to actually make money from trading. Once you learn the skill set, the money that you can make from trading is literally as much as you want. And one of the main things that I learned in this journey of my first attempt to the 100th of the mill, because keep in mind, never previously in my life have I ever done a successful flip. Now I've maybe turned 10,000 to 30, 40,000 or a couple thousand to maybe 10,000. But never something so exponential as taking something as small as $100 to then 6 figures. So this is my actual first attempt to doing it. And it got so much awareness and so much love from all of you guys. The series alone got millions of views that I said, shit, I can't let the people down. I have to keep this going. But as I kept it going, I got to the point where it pretty much broke me that I even had to leave social media and take a little bit of a break because the pressure was insane. And, looking back at all that stuff that I went to, I realized that I just wasn't ready for it. And the fact that I actually made it to that far was pretty much impressive because it was my first time actually doing it. Now, fast forward a year later, I am a completely different person. I'm older, more experienced, and now I am 100% ready to take on this 100 to the mill. And all the mistakes that I made, I have them written down and I learned from them. One of the main ones is going to be look out for the news. when I actually trade, I never look for news. And when trading the account on the last days of it, before I actually blew it, it's because I got caught in between an NFP news, which are the main news that happen at the beginning of the first Friday of every month. Now I have that calendarized and I know exactly what to look out for. And those days that I'm going to be trading, I'm going to make sure to either minimize my risk or simply not trade. Second is going to be to not travel and trade. So I've traveled literally all around the world right before I'm starting this challenge, so I can literally lock in, dial in, and only focus on the challenge. Because I was actually trading outside of my home office because they were doing renovations in my house, and I couldn't focus because they were pretty much breaking down a bathroom and one of the closets. So I had to go and stay at an apartment building in the city, and I just was out of my comfort zone. And you add news on top of that, it was just pretty much an equation for failure. So those are two main things that I learned from that challenge. And then the third is I don't have to put so much pressure on myself on having those hard targets every single week. My goals was to double up the account every single week, no matter what. And I was taking trades that I shouldn't have. And luckily, it all played in my favor because I was in a very good winning streak throughout the market. But I didn't have to put that amount of pressure on myself because I was staying up during London session when I didn't have to, and I was staying up New York session when I didn't sleep London session. That would have just affected my regular day-to-day life and my work-life balance. Come now this new challenge, I'm going to do this correctly. I'm going to do this so any single person out there can handily copy every single step that I'm going to do with this 100 to the mil challenge. Even if you have a job, even if you have all the free time in the world, I'm going to make this as simple and as effective as possible so everybody can replicate it better than what I did last time. This time, I'm bigger, stronger, and better than ever. And if you guys haven't seen the series, turning $100 into $1 million is really not that difficult. You just have to pretty much double your account every single week or every single 2 weeks. And with compound interest and a positive risk to reward of a minimum of a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk to reward, you can successfully flip the account all the way up to $1 million or even past $1 million. The only high risk thing is that you're obviously risking a lot of the account. I was risking 50 to 75% of the account every single time I would take a trade. Now, this is not sustainable type of trading, but you start off with $100. Once you're at 20,000, let's say you risk half of that. It's not a big deal. It's not your money technically. It's profits from the market. So I wasn't attached to the money. I was more attached to the stress and the journey that I was kind of putting you guys through it, because what I would record I would document profits from the market. So I wasn't attached to the money. I was more attached to the stress and the journey that I was kind of putting you guys through it, because what I would record, I would document it and show it you guys. And I don't want to transmit stress, because trading shouldn't be that way. Trading should be something that is done seamlessly when you follow a trading plan and a system. And just to add a little bit more and go a little bit deeper into the subject, the art of flipping an account is simply taking the highest probability trade. You don't want to take a bunch of little trades in order to flip an account. That's not the goal. You don't want to take a bunch of different trades and see which one hits and see which ones don't. You simply want to wait when you have a really good trade setup, and you pretty much just risk everything on that trade. Now, if you wait 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days for one trade to appear and everything checks out on it, the odds of it winning are higher than not. So why would you not bet 50 to 60% of the account, obviously, if you're with a flip account mindset? I don't do this with my personal account. I don't do this with any other ones of my accounts. I only do this when I'm flipping. And I've actually been, flipping a little bit of the accounts over the course of the last 2-3 months just to see if I still have it. And I definitely still have it. I've successfully flipped many different accounts. And it leads me to this point to just confirm that all you need for a successful flip is going to be to wait for a really good trade setup. That would consist of multiple time frames in sync, a strong level of area of interest, and a very strategic and positive entry signal. Is going to be key to when you go risk 50 to 60% of your account on this trade. The odds of you winning are a lot higher versus losing. Whenever you execute this trade, you want to make sure you have a minimum of a 3 risk to reward, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, so that 50% of the account that you risk, now you are up technically 150%, 200% of the account. Obviously, when you're talking $100, $200, $300, $400, it's really not much. But when you take that same percentage to then 10,000, to then 50,000, then 100,000, then you start growing really fast. And the art of flipping is not being attached to the money, Because if you can flip an account from 100 to 200, that's just one flip. There's no difference in percentage-wise taking 10,000 to 20,000, 20,000 to 40,000, 40 to 80. It's all the same percentage. The only thing that changes is the numbers on the screen. And you have to be very experienced and very nonchalant and stoic to not let that affect you. And that is what I was not prepared previously in the challenge from. Come now to this challenge, I give a shit about the money. All I care about is achieving this and showing you guys that it is possible for you guys to do it. So now coming into this new 100 to the mil challenge part 2, there is nothing that I'm going to change in my strategy. My strategy is exactly the same. My risk is going to be exactly the same. The type of markets that I trade are going to be exactly the same. There's only a couple things that are going to change, and there's a couple of rules that I'm going to be implementing, which are going to be the following. The first is that every single trade that I'm going to take, just as before, I have to share across my whole entire social media so all of you guys can follow along and see the trade for yourselves. The second is going to be that I can only trade in the foreign exchange market. I cannot trade cryptos, which are going crazy right now, and I can't trade any stocks or options. I have to stick to my foreign exchange markets and nothing outside of that. And then third is that I cannot take any signals, anybody else's bias, it's just my trade analysis and nobody else's. Previously, I was looking at some of my students' analysis and it kind of affected a little bit me, even though I didn't pay attention to it, just subconsciously got in my mind. But now in this challenge, I'm only going to focus on my trades and nobody else's trades. And just to assure of that, I am going to be personally sending the trades out in my Instagram, in my Telegram, in my Discord, so you guys can have the exact same journey as me. It's going to be crazy because this is as transparent as it gets and nobody has ever done this before. And honestly, I'm more confident than ever that I could achieve this simply because I'm starting right around the same time that I did last year, meaning that the market should have that winning streak that I had come last year. And on top of that, I'm just ready. I can almost feel it. I can see the markets lining up. I've practiced it in the last 2-3 months with a little bit bigger accounts and I've successfully done it. And I've actually looked back through the whole entire series of me turning the $100 to the mil. And I would literally see days that I would be emotional, days that I wouldn't be emotional. I would spot the mistakes in myself. My trading was absolutely impeccable. The trades were perfect. The risk management was perfect. Take profit, stop loss, everything was perfect. But the trader that was executing that strategy at that time wasn't the trader that was meant for that success. I believe the trader that I am now, I am 2, 3, even 4 times bigger than who I was just a year ago in terms of mindset and experience, that now I am more confident than ever that I can achieve this. And the accounts that I have been previously flipping has been with the markets that I have analyzed with my students every single week that I do on Sunday swings. And literally 2 weeks ago, I did a free Sunday swings for the first time here in my YouTube channel. And we got over 100,000 people that tuned into the stream where we had a beautiful, beautiful market line up on Sunday and it ended up playing out by Wednesday. That was a trade that I actually made $200,000 on, and all the hundreds of thousands of traders that got on the stream, they actually saw it live. So I'm going to be doing maybe a free Sunday swings every month or every month and a half. The only way for you to find out is if you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because not only are you going to be part of this legendary series of attempting to turn $100 into $1 million once again, but you're going to be part of a free live stream that I'm going to be sharing with you the markets before they happen a week in advance. So if for whatever reason you can't capitalize off of it with the Telegram or the Instagram, you're literally going to be part of the Sunday before it actually happens. So hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn on the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the series.